Hi, welcome back to the series that we had been interacting with. Last time I mentioned about the title, so we were looking at lockdown reflections. So we thought we should have something different. So we have made a small change. We are calling it as a Contemplations in Quarantine. To make it further different, the C is replaced with the Q, Q in Q. Contemplations in Quarantine. Okay, so that's about title. So let us come back to our topic. Last time we were discussing about adding value. So adding value to others. In terms of, I said many aspects are there. There are about the three that we were talking about: knowledge, skill, and the behavior. So what did you do since we met last? What kind of a validation that you made to others in terms of the three aspects? So how did you feel about that? How was the recipient feeling about that? Must have been a good experience. So not that we are having any value or others are having value, we are talking about the addition. So we call it in maths, x plus dx, the delta. The delta is the key. That's the validation that we are talking of. Whatever little that we can add is the question. So we are talking about knowledge, skills, and behavior. So when it comes to behavior, I was talking about how do we add value in the behavior area. Either by giving some feedback. Feedback giving, is it easy? So it is very difficult because unknowingly we might touch some raw nerves. It will further deteriorate our relationship. How do we do that? We would like to give feedback. We would like to improve his behavior or whatever it is, our behavior. So without offending the other person. How do we do that? So difficult, but a friend of mine gave me one small acronym which I thought I will share with you. When I say friend, the mind goes to the song by A.R. Rahman, Mustafa. So he is the person who added this value. So whenever we give feedback, why not we consider that we are giving a beer. I don't have a beer mug, but giving a beer. So you might be wondering what this man is talking about, the beer. So the acronym is quite interesting. The B, E-E-R. The B stands for the behavior seen, behavior observed, which is a fact, we cannot deny that. The second D says effect on me because of the behavior, effect on me, others, and then you, in that order. The third E is expected behavior, what I expect out of you as a behavior, which will make me comfortable. R stands for I am looking for some response results. Looks simple, no? But not simple, difficult. But there is at least a way that we can go about doing. I mentioned about the three people: effect on me, others, and you. Why that order? It makes a lot of difference. When you give a feedback saying that this behavior has impacted me, it has a better reception from the other person. So he gets into some attention. Acha, I impacted you in what way? He would like to know more about it. Instead of saying you behaved like this, then it becomes a open area for another discomfort. So why not we put it on our shoulder? When I say pain is mine, it is very difficult for the other person to add more pain. He will not do. He will be more willing to listen to you. Others, this behavior, how does it impact others? And what is the profile people get about you? So it's a third one. So it has a better appeal. So what kind of a beer? Mild, lager beer, little strong, Havertz 1000, 5000, Kalyani. I don't know what is the brand that's available nowadays, but it must be given. What is the amount? how much should we give? So a mug, not enough. Give a pitcher, not enough. Give a barrel. So depending upon the situation, you can do a lot of variations within that. So the beauty of that is we can exchange. Cheers, no? When we say beer, cheers. So you can give beer, you can take beer. You can ask the other person, what is the behavior you have observed of me? What is the effect it has created on you, on others? And then what people think about me. Then what is the expected behavior from me? So I can respond, I can show some result. So it's a mutual kind of a thing. So it's a good, interesting one. So this acronym, I am sure that you will be keeping in your mind for a long time. Whenever you have a beer, whoever is having a beer, so this will come. So it's a nice acronym. Thanks to my friend. So much so about the second factor. So in the process of this series, we are talking about the value addition. I believe and I hope that I have added some value to all of you. So now we'll move on to the next aspect. So understanding others. How do we understand the others? Very complicated one, difficult one. So I go back to my book. So 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I showed you earlier also. I love this book. You can see the vintage of this book. So this is probably about 30-year-old. So 30-year-old book. So 7 habits. He talks about various habits. The 5th habit of that says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's very difficult. Seek to understand, because the language is, yaar, understand me, yaar. Why don't you understand me? So that's how the conversation goes. We never make an attempt to understand what is in the other person's mind. It comes in the hard way. In fact, Stephen Covey is an expert in this kind of human behaviors, habits. He has written a lot of books, etc., etc. In one of the interview, one of them asked, sir, you had been writing about these habits, so you must be practicing all these habits, I am sure. So which is the habit that you found it very, very difficult to follow? Probably is that habit number 5. Seek to understand, then be understood. This is why the mind is working that way. I want other people to understand me first. My mind is working in that. So when someone speaks to me, my response, the thinking has started about the response to the first statement. The second statement suffers in the listening. So I am not able to understand. So that's a difficulty. So if that kind of a person says that it is very difficult, you can understand the complexity of the whole thing. So it's going to be difficult. So how do we approach this is the question. So it's a huge topic. Depth of the human, no one can understand. It is like a iceberg. You can only see the tip, but you don't know the bottom. So how wide, what is inside, you don't know. But still, it is important that we have to understand beyond the tip of the iceberg. So as I said, there is no clear-cut action that I can recommend. Do this, do this, do this. So you will open up the person's mind. So we can do something else. So one thing is, I am expressing, I am displaying some behavior. So where is it coming from? Something inside. There is a trigger that makes me to behave the way I am behaving, the way I am expressing, the thought process, etc. as a background within me. So we are all different. So other people also are different. They have a different kind of a background. So like there is a trigger in me to make me behave or express the way I am expressing, there must be a trigger in the other person also. How do we understand the trigger? When we start walking into the other person's world, I said rapport is instant. So how do we do that? So this is what we can explore little more in the next time that we meet. So that is one. So as I said, find out the trigger, so walking into the other person's field. And one of the important thing that people have seen is find a common point, common interest that leads to other discussions, that opens up the person. Acha, oh, you also like this, you also like this. So let us know more about you, let us know more about you. The more you know about it, you understand the person, the behavior, everything is based on this. So we will get into more detail in this. Again, it's a perspective I am going to offer, it is not the perspective, I keep repeating that. So one of that I have assimilated in mind, I will share with you as we meet in the next time. In the meanwhile, think about those common points that has helped you to interact with people, open up with more people, and also try to find the common point that you like to start with the new people, new relationship, etc., etc., etc. Till then, so bye, see you next time. Thank you.